Welcome to the first episode of season 2.
Woo! Hold on.
Oh.
No.
How ironic. So, yeah, to explain it, basically, I've been doing the podcast now 3 years.
Wow.
And we've been discussing over the past couple of days, I suppose. We weren't really very happy with, mainly the solo podcasts, the direction they were going, and to be brutally honest, we didn't think the content was that good. And we don't think that's fair to you, the listeners,
No.
or viewers.
We owe it to you guys.
Yep.
So basically, the crack is not much is going to change in terms of the guests. We're probably going to keep getting successful people in Northern Ireland, but we want to go down more of a businessy route. So basically business owners, people we find interesting. But yeah, I just think you might not necessarily know these people, but they'll have a good story. And I think the main thing for us is we want to focus on people we're interested in, which is basically what we done at the start. We didn't necessarily go after people with big names or people for their followers. And I'm not saying that's what we do now. A lot of the guests we had on last year pretty much fit what we want to do moving forward. So I don't really think much is going to change, but the solo episodes are going to change.
Yeah.
And probably go back to more focused on news, current affairs.
Back to what we started, basically, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
How we made ourselves.
So
Reporting on the likes of Stephen Nolan. Big stories happening in
big
Northern Ireland.
stories.
Maybe
around the
not.
world.
I think it's the way in, obviously. I think from a guest perspective, as Tommy said, we're not doing anything. I don't feel like we've hit the nail on the head with guests. We're getting interesting people on, whether they be business owners, whether they be content creators, and obviously the guests that we already have lined up. There's a mixture of people, and we genuinely think that you, the listener or the viewer, will very much enjoy getting to know these people, getting to know their business, etc. Where we found the slight detachment was you came to a podcast one week and you had a really good conversation with a guest, really mature conversation, really informed. And then you came to the next week and it was a little bit here, there and everywhere. And to be honest, I think that was just purely, to be blunt, it was us filling the gap of we wanted to keep posting every week.
yeah,
And we wanted to give you something to listen to. But we kind of have lost our way in a bit. And now we're trying to get back to the roots. So I would say I'd say, as you said, business is obviously one thing that we're very all interested in, but then at the same time, the news, the current events. We used to do a podcast on a Sunday and release it on a Thursday, and we talked about all things new, what's happening in Northern Ireland. So you can expect us to go back to that, but as we get older, probably we're going to be letting go of the slightly more immature topics that we talk about, because it's not us.
yeah. I think we want to just provide value is the main thing. I think especially with the guests, I think we have been doing that, but I think we want to go more in depth now and really get value out of them in terms of from their experience and stuff. And with the solo episodes, and like Ross is saying, I think we're trying to almost go down the comedy route,
We're not comedians.
and we're not comedians, and we don't want to be comedians.
No.
And I think we were just looking at it we were looking at it and sort of I know I'm saying a lot in terms of what can we bring and what are we actually interested in. We're none of us are trying to be comedians. We're not trying to be the Bomb Squad or Shane Todd or anything, because that's just not us. But we are interested in business. We are interested in architecture. We're interested in content. We enjoy doing this, but it's more we want to enjoy doing the solos, which is, let's be honest, we sort of spoke over the last couple of days, we haven't been enjoying doing the solo podcast, and it's very much just been we pride ourselves in consistency and delivering a podcast every week, and it sort of was that took priority rather than the actual quality of the podcast.
100%.
But Shay,
I think with the new dynamic also, I think it's more about adding value or giving value to the listener as well, whereas beforehand I think it was just us maybe cracking away and just talking shit most of the time, which alright is good fun sometimes, but it gets a bit repetitive, probably as a listener as well. So I think this year we're going to change it up and it's going to be more valuable for people. So I suppose we're sort of aiming for that age group of 20 to 30 as well, to try and bring be hip, as the older guys say.
Be hip.
Be hip. bring you some information and stuff that's maybe going to be useful to you, and if you want to get back to us and let us know if you're enjoying it.
I mean, not to give people like much of an insight, but like the analytics speak for themselves. The guest episodes do very well. Some of the solo episodes do well, but consistently guest episodes always show up. So for that reason, you're probably going to see more guest episodes over the next year. Whereas we used to do a solo, a guest, a solo, and a guest, and that was kind of to be able to produce content and consistently put stuff out. That was the calendar in which we were sticking to with an iron, and we were ruling with an iron fist. Like, but now it's going to be just like, right, we're going to be just managing our own calendar, enjoying what we do, and obviously, if we don't get a guest one week and we feel like it would be valuable to, you know, hop on, do a solo episode, talk a bit about, you know, what's happening in Northern Ireland at the minute, and go back to the roots and why people started listening to us in the first place, then that's what we're going to do. So obviously I'm just cautious that a lot of it will be based around business, and it will be more mature topics. If you're coming every week and expecting to hear an "Am I the asshole?" or a "Would you rather," you're not going to be hearing that anymore. Just we just want to make that very clear. And if that means we lose you as a listener, then we are sorry for that. And obviously we'd love for you to stick around and at least give this new thing a try. Come along with us on the journey of discovery. Maybe you might discover something about yourself. I don't know.
But we're not going to change. Like, you're still going to get the same personalities and crack. Like, you know, hopefully you enjoy us. But like, it's not going to drastically change. But it's more like, even with its guests coming up, like, we're really trying to we're getting value out of it ourselves and learning, and like, it's interesting to us, and hopefully you find it interesting. And in terms of the solos, like, there will still be solo episodes, but like, it's just going to be more focused on actual, like, what we can provide, good content we can provide, and like what value we can give users, instead of just what it has been, which is just random conversations. And maybe you enjoy that, but like I said, I think there's people out there doing it better than we are. So
and this will not be like a Diary of a CEO type thing. We're not going to make it depressing, because we're not depressing people. We have crack. We're not comedians.
So
we're not comedians, but I mean, we do come out with the odd quip or two. Am I right, Aaron?
Oh yes.
And Aaron's still here. We haven't fired Aaron.
I haven't been fired.
Listen, like, it's just gonna. I think I'm excited. I'm really excited, and the thing that I'm excited about is the fact that, and legitimately, we are recording this episode. We have a couple of guests lined up already, which is great. We have things in the bank, which is cool, but at the same time, like, we do not know where this journey is going to take us. So, I mean, it's cool that you get to come on the journey with us, I suppose, into this next chapter.
So you go
on. Chase. Oh, we
Thanks.
haven't give you your P45 yet. Joking. But like, I'm really excited. Genuinely, the guests we have lined up are chef's kiss.
Question: what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to I look back at the olden days whenever we were coming up on a Sunday to record in your gaff, and we were actually like prepared for solo episodes, and like we knew we were like, everybody brought their own thing, like whether it was about news, and we just smashed it. We enjoyed doing it. And not to say I haven't been enjoying doing the podcast, like, that's definitely not what I'm trying to say, but I'm just excited to.
You're excited for the organisation aspect of it?
100%. I'm excited to rip into a new calendar.
He's going to grab the bull by the horns and project manage this.
I'm going to project manage this situation. No, I think, to be honest with you, it's a long time coming. Like, we obviously had a chat last week, and I think all three of us came to the conclusion that the podcast needs to be, we feel, for our benefit and for your benefit, in terms of, like, I know you said, Shay, about value. We're probably going to be a bit more, we're still going to have the crack, we're not going to be boring, but the themes will probably be a bit more mature and more suited to our age, and also the three of us have jobs outside of this, and we would like to retain our employment,
unless this works for
us.
You never know.
Stephen Bartlett, what's up?
Or PayPal link will be in the description.
And you never know where this could go. You really don't. I think that's what I'm most excited for. Fresh start. So that's why we're calling it Season 2. Yeah.
Need to get a bit quicker pressing that button. It's a bit.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I think I was most excited about this the other night whenever you said, I was like, do we get to call it season 2 because we've been in season 1 for 3 years?
My goodness.
160 episodes, wasn't it?
This
Wasn't it?
No,
We're just deleting them all.
this would have been the 160th episode, so it was 159 episodes of
Fuck if
season
I'd have
1.
known that, hey.
So listen, we are
Cancel. We'll go again.
we are going to keep a lot of that, like, well, all of it probably.
We're not getting rid of any of it.
We're not getting rid of any of it. Like, it got us to where we are now. So if you like want to go back and listen back and all this here, happy days. But
Reminisce.
this is why we're calling this season 2, because new story for the boys.
You start.
I think
know
it's
what I mean?
important too for new people coming along to start at season 2 as well.
Yeah.
It's basically 2 different podcasts. Like, you know, you're going to be listening to season 2 and then you're like, oh, I want to hear the lads whenever they were younger and more immature. Go back to season 1.
Would you rather eat
Bit
a
of both.
sponge or yeah?
That was comedy gold. You,
It's not how your voice sounded a week ago.
Yeah, exactly. We matured.
Growing up
What
so
are you?
much.
What are you looking forward to yourself?
I think just the more specific, probably the guests, maybe, you know, like, no, probably getting more into topics that actually really interest us and stuff,
Yeah,
and going into depth in them, because a lot of the time I always found we would have like skimmed over things, just mentioned them, but I think doing more research into things and everyone bringing their own aspect to it, like, going into more depth, and then I suppose with the guests and stuff too, I'm sort of excited to maybe get more people who are specialists in things,
yeah,
and get like a proper in-depth insight into their field.
yeah. I totally agree, because I know like a couple of episodes ago we delved into the topic of working from home, and I think that was kind of a really good conversation to have, and it's annoying that we kind of had to cut it short to move into something else.
Yeah.
That's the kind of topics I think you can expect us to be bringing up. What about you?
Yeah, I think just like similar to what Shay said, I think getting people on that are successful in their industry but aren't necessarily known well. I think like with podcasts at the minute, you can especially because Northern Ireland's such a small place, you sort of see the same sort of people circling around, but like I think I want to really try to get people who have an interesting story but like aren't necessarily that known, and we can give them a platform now. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it really stuck for me was like I went to like a marketing event like in Belfast a couple of weeks ago, and just like really good speakers at it, like, and I was like, you'd just be class people on a podcast,
People
like,
from Belfast too, like
Yeah.
local people, like
just really good at like speaking and like telling a story, and like obviously they were doing like a deck, like, but it was just some people were just really skilled at that, and I was like,
Yeah.
interesting. Just came away from that, I was like,
Yeah.
want to definitely go more down this route.
Yeah, we've always prided ourselves on using this. I know this sounds like, I don't know whether this is a vain thing to say. We did not start this podcast to promote us as 3 individuals.
We didn't do a fucking good job on it.
But like that was never the goal of this.
No.
Was to like promote us. I mean, we were obviously trying to promote the actual platform for a while, and then very, very quickly we started to shift to, let's get interesting people on, let's let them use our platform to promote themselves. And that's definitely what we still want to do, because realistically there's enough of us out there, you know what I mean?
fair.
Yeah, and I
So-
think socials as well.
Oh,
Gonna be putting
Okay.
we're going to be putting more content out there that isn't necessarily podcast content.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best to like sort of network with people, get experts to give bits and pieces just in relation to what's happening in the world and their sort of bits.
Yep.
So keep an eye out on the socials. If you don't follow us on socials,
do.
Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, we're near the 100k.
Oh,
yeah, please go to TikTok.
Get on it and follow us on YouTube if you're listening.
most people say we're near 100k, and they're on like 94k. We're literally on like 99.6.
Yeah.
So if 400 you listen to this right now and think, I don't
100.
think I'm subscribed or following them, go do it,
Yes, please.
because you know
I think that's a good way to end it.
I think that is
First
Welcome to
episode
season 2.
will be out next week with our guest, so
Ooh.
keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye on our socials.
I thought
Yeah.
you were going to tell them who the guest was. I was like, keep it as a surprise.
Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, hopefully come on this journey with us.
Yes. All right. Good luck, guys.